'cause rise to awaken, flame within eternity. Today I walk the edge tonight, the golden sky will show, the crimson path will be my guide. So open your innermost mind and see, feel that beauty. Road to survival, bloom in the dawn, meditation, carry the spark, stillness, stillness and fire, spread consciousness. A thousand faces to light the dawn, rising presage and tame and salvage. Hurricane faces to face the unknown, shining lanterns through crimson night into my veins. Verily, I am thousand embers but one flame. Stand, the flowing tide will test my soul, and now the fleeting wind will call my name upon eternity. Tonight I face the storm within, the shadow fades away, the lantern guides me through the void. So open your innermost mind and see, feel the crimson to survival, bloom in the dawn, meditation, carry the spark, stillness and fire, spread consciousness. A vagrant prayer to light my mind, chasing traces of golden ashes. Infinite prayer to heights of the blind, guiding signal into darkness. Oh, a thousand faces to light the dawn, rising presage and tame and salvage. Hurricane faces to face the unknown, shining lanterns through crimson night into my veins. Verily, I am thousand echoes in one night. Verily,
Turn these bad boys on. Hello. Good evening, everyone. What's going on? Welcome. All right. Mic check 1 2 1 3. Mic check.
Awa, awa.
All right. Anyways, what is going on, everyone? Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the South Florida Gamers Podcast, episode 174. We are currently live on YouTube, Twitch, and of course Facebook, because why not? I was thinking about streaming on Kick, but nah, I don't think there's the audience for our type of style, so we're just gonna stick to just the three platforms that we're currently at right now.
Kind of distracted.
Big shout out to everybody watching, tuning in. Thank you for waiting. Of course, if you were here very, very, very early, like if you were to rewind the stream back a little bit, there was a little bit of technical difficulty where I didn't put it on the start screen, so that's on me. I take full responsibility on that. But nonetheless, we got a nice show for you guys, and we got some interesting topics, as you guys see on the title. And if you're watching this on YouTube, if you go in the description, you all see all the topics there as well. So without further ado, gonna go ahead and introduce, of course, the two co-hosts across the table from me, none other than Waluigi.
Aloha, back at it again. Shouts out to the people that watched TK's episode on Sunday. Looking forward to seeing how this one goes.
Absolutely. And to his right, to his left, my right,
Yes.
Butter Punch.
Yo, what's up, guys? We out here vibing.
Absolutely. So, opener. So, I have something that I just want to just put out there for all the gamers out there, and that is that there's this notion, there's this stigma that, especially with games like High Guard, because today the game is dead. The game is offline.
That was fast.
Yes.
45 days?
Yeah, High Guard is dead today.
Not even. Like, it feels like...
I believe that we spoke about it on the podcast, how there's this negative stigma towards these live service games that come out, and developers, they take shots at us gamers because of the fact that we're calling these games slop. We're calling these games, it's the next Concord and whatnot, without even giving it a chance. And we're slowly starting to see that not slowly starting to see it, but we already see it with games like Marathon, which the player count has been going down, and you have a lot of people pulling up the Steam DB numbers. Like, look at the numbers. The game's dying. Like, a lot of people are not playing it. Granted, the game is also available on Xbox and PlayStation as well. So we don't have the numbers for those games, but the PC platform being, a really big platform, the numbers do speak volume, but this obsession of waiting to see if a game's going to fail or if it's going to be the next Concord, I think it's a little unhealthy. It's a very unhealthy perception. Now, granted, when you saw our reactions, especially my reaction and Waluigi's reaction, when we saw High Guard, it was not a positive reaction.
No, it wasn't.
It definitely wasn't, and we're just like, I don't even know what the hell kind of game this is.
It was way too hard to read in the perspective of the game, because if you can look back at a trailer, rest in peace, but pretty much you can look back at a trailer and you can probably understand there is no context, no explanation, and just people just doing supers or just having random heroes with guns in medieval times with horses. It's a lot to digest with not too much to process or have any proper explanation. They're like, oh yeah, see you guys in January, and just left off.
Yep.
Yeah. And with the gaming community, how it is, especially on the internet, which you have so many interesting and unique takes, but I always look at it from who played the game. I was looking from the aspect of, like, did you play the game? Because we can look at a game objectively and be like, okay, this game, I don't know, this game's not looking good. Like, if it doesn't grab our attention at first, if we're not appeased by what we're looking at, then yeah, we're gonna write the game off. Mm-hmm. But I always encourage gamers to try the game before you completely write it off. I tried High Guard when it came out. I streamed it for 2 hours straight, and at the end of the stream, I was just like, yeah, this game ain't it. And then even with the new update, I went back to play it again, and still had that same feeling of this game is definitely not it. This game is just not hitting. So I, for one, could say that, yeah, I tried this game. I played this game. Granted, when I first saw the game, it did not appeal to me at all, but I wanted to give the game a chance, played the game, and it just wasn't it. Like, nah. It just, nah. The game is boring. That is the nicest way for me to say it. The game is just flat out boring to me. For a shooter, you want it to be chaotic. You want it to have like a lot of action, and bro, there's really not that lot of action. There's action that happens, and then there's just like a lot of like downtime in between the action, and just like, yeah, it's just kind of boring. I'm sorry.
That's why I had you play instead. I'd rather let the homies just use their RAM, use their data, their download space, rather than me touch it personally.
Yeah. So I just encourage gamers, especially when games like Marathon, they had a beta that came out before the actual release of the game. I played the beta, and I'm just like, yeah, this game's not for me. This game's not for me. Granted, it's an extraction shooter, and I would say I'm not a fan of extraction shooters, but I will say the one extraction shooter that I do love and enjoy, which was the one that started it all, was the Division.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Division was like, I would say everyone's first introduction into the extraction shooter genre. And of course, with Division 1, it had a lot of promise. There was a lot of smoke and mirrors when the game was shown at E3, and then when we finally played it, we're just like, what the hell?
It's definitely a different experience than what a lot of people imagined.
Yeah, and Division 2 comes out, better improvement, much better improvement on the story, the gameplay. It was really good up until you get to the point of towards the end of the game, like the end game content. It was kind of lacking, but of course they came in with DLC, which made up for it. Cool. But overall, the Division 2 was a lot better, and then there was just years of silence right after. And recently, there was an update that came out for the Division 2, and I believe the Division 1, where for Division 2, there's a realism mode to where when you shoot at enemies, they're not like a bullet sponge. Like, if you headshot someone, they're down.
Oh.
And I was just like, this is exactly what we wanted from the get-go when it came to Division. Like, we don't like the bullet sponge type enemies or whatnot, but this, if anything, this gave me hope that hopefully they do Division 3, because I think that would be a very successful live service extraction shooter, because I strongly believe that was the first extraction shooter game that a lot of people played when the Division 1 and 2 came out, especially number 2. A lot of people enjoyed the game. So for me, it was like, I'm not a fan of, Call of Duty DMZ. That's another extraction shooter. Not a fan of it. Escape from Tarkov. Never played it, so I can't say anything about it.
You're good on that one.
Yeah. Arc Raiders. Never played it. Can't say anything about that. I did play Marathon with the beta, and I decided, like, yo, it's not for me. So in conclusion, before I wrap up my, the opening and we get to the topics, I just want to say that give games a chance before you completely write them off. Like, if you've never played the game, don't speak about the game.
Real.
Like, you can say, like, the game just does not visually appeal to me, and leave it at that. Don't just be like, oh, it's going to be another Concord, or, this game's going to be, a fail, pretty soon or whatnot. Give the game a chance. Give it a chance if you're able to play a demo or sample of the game before you completely write it off. And then after you play it, then you can just be like, all right, this game's really not that it. I've played it. I've tried it. It's not it. But you can easily say that, yeah, this game's just not for me. So that's where I'm going to leave it at, is just don't write off a game just because you think it might be another Concord game. if there's a opportunity for you to play the game before you completely write it off. So that's where I'm gonna leave it at.
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's
Make your own opinions, like pretty much.
Yeah,
and
literally.
you have to experience and try things to have a valid, I'd say valid opinion, something that other people can listen and be confident in what you say.
Right.
Or,
yeah. And then if you don't play the game like myself, have a homie give you a perspective.
yeah.
So at least if you don't have a story, you can be like, oh yeah, my friend actually experienced this and so forth.
Yeah.
At least have someone you know play the game to give you at least a summary of the experience. if it's
Yeah,
still for you.
definitely.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But I want to stray from the point a little bit. I see a lot of people who watch like YouTubers and content creators, and they use their information to make it your own opinion. And I don't want that for anybody here, because then there comes the issue
I think I
where
know
I'm
what you're
having the
talking
conversation with somebody, for example, and then when I say something about the game, they don't tell me what they think about the game. They tell me our counterpoints the other person made. It's about you. It's about you. You're the gamer.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to make clear for the audience.
Definitely.
You got to make your own opinion.
That's really solid, Butters.
Yeah.
Like you see other people just start recording and seeing videos like Video Game Donkey or like very famous content creators look at the game and it's like, oh, from this person's perspective, and they just rolled on with it.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to Video Game Donkey, I'm just like having a comparison so people can understand.
Comparison. Love that guy.
You
But
can't
it's
tell
just
me.
a comparison point,
Yeah.
for sure.
So let's go start up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, first topic of the night, and that is coming from Insider Gaming. Xbox confirms Project Helix Alpha version
Oh no.
will be sent to developers in 2027.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Exciting stuff.
They're still back at it. They're still. I remember we talked about this a while back, but now they're actually back at it.
Yeah, they're making a
There's-
power move.
I thought they were bluffing.
Yeah, days ago, Xbox unveiled Project Helix, dubbed the future of the hardware side of the brand, and believed by some to be the last hurrah for the label in the console space. It's slated to be a combination of a traditional home console and a PC.
Oh,
fusing
hold your
the-
thoughts. Butters is still upside down.
Oh, word? Yo, what's up, chat? I can bring a little bat hat thingy. And then
You wouldn't be Butters, you'd be Batters.
batters.
There we go.
I'm looking good.
All right,
Looking better.
Appreciate y'all, chat.
I'll fix it.
Okay, now we can go.
It's all right. It's slated to be a combination of a traditional home console and a PC, fusing the two and bridging the gap. I mean, when honestly, when you look at the Xbox series and of course the PS5, granted they're not PCs.
Yeah.
But you could still play like the games that you see on PC. Like I'm pretty sure you would be able, if there was a port version, you'd be able to play it on console as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I get it and I don't get it, but it's just like how far are you willing to, go into this? But continuing on. At a talk at GDC, Xbox VP of Next Gen Jason Ronald revealed the dev kits or alpha versions of Project Helix will start being sent out to developers from next year. This gives us a slight indication as to how long it'll be before the console hits the market. When is Project Helix coming out? For now, we know very little about Project Helix, Xbox's next venture into the hardware space. However, thanks to an image capture during the GDC by Tom Warren, we have some information about the innovation being poured into the console. In a visual fronted by Call of Duty iconography, the intended specifications of Project Helix was unveiled. It's powered by a custom AMD SoC, go designed for next generation of DirectX, next gen ray tracing performance and capabilities, GPU DirectWork graph execution, AMD FSR Next and Project Helix built for next generation of neural rendering, next generation ML upscaling, new ML multi-frame generation, next gen ray regeneration for RT and path tracing.
It's a lot of magic words, Magic Man.
Yeah, it's a lot of magic. Yeah,
It's a lot of new stuff, but it's going to be like pretty much the same.
It's a lot of,
Fluff, I'm guessing.
yeah, I'm gonna say that, a lot of fluff, but the real questions that people are going to want to know is, what is this going to actually do? Are we going to be able to play games at a higher setting or ultra settings as if we were playing them on PC?
Yeah.
Like, can I play the next Grand Theft Auto at ultra settings beyond 60 frames per second max with no drops?
Yeah, I think that's the terminology a gamer is looking for, because that's what makes sense to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what is this going to do? Because what I just read to you guys, I'm pretty sure like no one knows what the hell all of this is.
It's attention grabbing.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, co-designed by the next generation of DirectX or GPU direct work graph execution. Like, it just sounds like you're forming sentences with AI at this point. Then AMD, FSR, Next, and Project T, like, built for next generation and neutral rendering. Will this come before or after GTA 6 is the question.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it says, like, development is going to be starting in 2027. Probably same time GTA 6 is going to be announcing something dumb.
Yeah, GTA 6 will probably have come out. And then the question is, will they drop this in GTA 6 on the new console? Is going to be the day one game?
No.
They always do that, bro. They always be slapping up. I wouldn't be surprised if they put GTA 5 on there too, just cuz.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so with all the information that's available on this article,
It just seems so vague.
yeah, so but at least we know that, okay, this is going to be pretty much Xbox's last console.
We hope so.
Because
Yeah.
honestly,
I'm a hater.
Honestly, with the Xbox Series X and S, I just honestly think like they should have just stopped. No more consoles. But this one's going to be a hybrid of a PC and a console, so 2 in 1.
Wait, I just realized. Is it like a Steam machine now?
Could be.
Could be.
I feel like they just looked at Valve and they're just like, you know what? Or saying they're like, we just got to do something about this.
But the thing that concerns me is the fact that you already have Game Pass available on multiple platforms, especially on the PC platform. Like, if people are going to be able to play PC games and Xbox games, while people who already have a gaming PC can play PC games and Xbox games, what's going to make them get this?
General attraction is the real question.
It really does depend on kind of how it goes. If it goes like the same angle of Steam Machine, where it's a console-like experience with computer capabilities, that's probably the angle they're going for. But Steam or Machine already announced it,
Yeah.
so maybe this is like a last-ditch effort, because they were probably gonna do this anyways, but now Steam Machine already announced it, and they're like, well, we gotta do something.
You can see the new CEO just closing her hands like money with AI.
They're like,
Just all
oh
excited.
yeah, oh yeah, chat.
Yeah. So
Scary.
it's early with this. It's very early. At least we know that, hey, there's going to be a new Xbox that's going to come out, and this could be the last one, and it's going to be a PC console hybrid. So another question that I would like to know is, what's the parts, the inside internal parts of the console? Like, are we going to be able to upgrade it? Like, let's just say if I want to get a new GPU, like a new NVIDIA graphics card or an AMD or an Intel graphics card, can I do that with the new Xbox? Or is Xbox or is it not Xbox, but Microsoft, are they going to have like their own version of graphics cards, which I sincerely doubt.
I doubt too.
I hope
Everything
not.
is, as you read in this perfectly legit article, everything's next generation.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to tell you. They're saying, they're probably like, yeah, this is what we're going to keep and this is all you're going to hold on to. It's probably what I'm envisioning. I could be wrong.
Like, what's the what's going to be the gaming standard for this next gen? Because
And the
mind you, like even before the episode before we started, I was saying I think to Butter that majority gamers still play on 1080p.
Yeah.
And as long as it's like 1080 60, we're good. We're solid. And if you get like a better monitor to where you can play it at 144 hertz or 165, and the console itself can, in a way like how with Street Fighter 6, like you can play at 120 if you have like a 120 hertz monitor or higher. Same thing with Call of Duty as well. Like, are we going to get some of those features for the next gen Xbox? Because when you play at 1080p but at a much higher refresh rate, the game looks much better.
I bet.
It feels a lot smoother. It's just more appealing to the eye, and then of course, it's just a much smooth experience. Even though I'm exaggerating that word.
I mean, you're being honest and you're being sincere in your perspective, and every other gamer's perspective. Like once you go from like 360 to 720 to 1080 then 4K, it's a night and day difference.
Yeah.
And then what you have for your processing and what you have for your TV or your Hertz and HD graphics becomes incredibly different.
Yeah.
That's what I personally believe.
So
No, yeah, it's different for every gamer, but the common denominator, the average common denominator is the 1080p 60.
yeah.
It's a good standard.
You know,
30 frames sucks
yeah.
nowadays.
Now we used to go like, whoa, PS1 did 20 FPS or 15 FPS at some games.
Yeah, for certain games, yeah.
Yeah, like I think Siphon Filter was like a slower one too. Yeah, we were used to that because we didn't really have anything
We
else.
had no choice.
And then we got like 1520, but like amazing graphics on PS2. Then we got consistent 30 on PS3. Now we're going like 30 to 60 depending, but looks great on the PS4. Now the new standard is 1080p 60 on the PS5. So I'm curious what anything new generation would be, the new standard. I'm thinking 1440 would be like the easy next step up instead of the 4K.
And then 4K is just going to be like when we're probably dead.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, 4K gaming is
As a standard.
It's already here, yeah.
Yeah, it's
especially
already here, but it's not. But the majority is not playing at 4K.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the majority isn't playing it. We got the PS5 Pro. It's capable of doing it.
Yeah.
But that is not a common thing.
Sir Penguin in the chat asks, all I ask is if it can run Honey Pop 60 frames per second.
Yo,
Fucking hate this.
Uni Pop 60 frames per second. All he gets is like images when he gets all the games and the gems stuck together. He wants that at 60 FPS.
How does that work? Like,
Bro, he just wants the transitions to be quick, bro.
like is the picture like more HDer or the gems are more shinier?
The gems are shiny. The
Like-
gems are quicker.
Like, are they more polished? I have like real questions now.
All I want. This guy.
I feel like there's some degeneracy in this chat again.
It's over, child. There's too much
Honey
degeneracy
pop
in there.
at 60
Uni
frames.
pop.
That's crazy.
But no, yeah. The next step, probably 1440p would be like the new minimum, the new common standard.
Yeah, like make 1440 60 the minimum, and then or 1440 or no. Here's a better one. 1080 120 as the new minimum standard.
Okay.
1440p 60 as like recommended, and then high ultra settings 4K and above, 4K resolution and 60 120 or even 165 and above.
I like that. That is a nice reality we can all have.
Yeah, I can accept that. Just no honey pop at 60 frames per second.
Just the honey. Woo.
All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah, next one. So we talked about this last year when it was revealed. We're going to talk about it again. The Steam Machine.
Again.
Yes. New information about the Steam Machine. So, Steam Machine targets 1080p at 30 frames per second for deck verified
Wait,
games.
what? Wait, what?
Deck verified games. So this, this had a lot of people talking.
That's a curveball.
Definitely have a lot of people talking.
That is a curveball and a half.
All Steam Deck games on the Steam Machine will target 1080p at 30 frames per second. Late last year, Valve announced its return to the console business with its next-gen Steam Machine, the upcoming system capable of playing at 4K resolution at 60 frames per second on a semi-custom AMD CPU and GPU. Now, performance details for the Steam Deck verified games have been revealed at GDC. So, all Steam Deck verified games are Steam Machine verified. As spotted by PC Gamer, Valve provided new details on the Steam hardware at GDC 2026, talking about Steam OS, deck, frame, and machine. On the Steam Machine Verified slide, it was mentioned that the deck verified games are verified for the consoles. Players will receive the same input expectations for Steam Deck. The console will target 30 frames per second at 1080p for deck verified games, and performance on the Steam machine will be 6 times that of the Steam Deck. Additionally, it doesn't test display resolution for
Legibility.
legibility. Thank you.
You're good.
And has an updated API to detect hardware. Regarding Steam frame verification, there's no verified program for streaming. If it runs well on your host PC, then it should be okay for Steam Frame. Steam Frame verified is for the standalone play only VR and non-VR games being tested. Coming to performance, standalone VR titles will target 90 frames per second, whereas standalone 2D titles will target 30 frames per second at 1280 by 720.
Huh.
Okay. So I want to talk about the Steam frame since that's a little bit of a smaller conversation point.
Yeah.
You're definitely using it for the VR only games because I think people would be okay playing like some of their single player games right on 30 FPS, and it's on a lens frame, so 720p in your eyes. It's not going to look bad as people would say it would, right?
Yeah.
But 30 FPS as that standard. It's going to vary if you're willing to do 30 FPS on your games, right? Because we're already pretty comfortable with 60 as like a number we really like. It's going to be a niche thing if people are going to be wanting to do other games that are not VR for 30 FPS. But that's up to you guys as the consumers if that's something you're willing to do. But I don't think that's going to be the common thing.
No, it wouldn't be.
I do want to know, for those who have a Steam Deck, do every game can play on the Steam Deck, or is just certain games can play on the Steam Deck?
So I want to say like
It's like
80% to 90%. You can play a game in some way or manner, right? The Steam Deck could play like old games. Like I could play Fallout 3 in New Vegas on it, but it wasn't designed to use the controls on there. You would have to plug in a keyboard and mouse.
Right.
So those situations get a little weird. And then games that aren't verified, you could play them. It just nobody's going out of their way to test out like Spec Ops: The Line or Bulletstorm 2013 to be like, oh yeah, there's like 4 people who play this game, but we're gonna go ahead and make sure there's a badge on that sucker. So there's a lot of games that still run even though they're not verified.
Yeah.
The weird ones are when they have tested it and it doesn't work because of some kind of background program. I think for a good example is like you can't play Valorant on the Steam Deck because of the anti-cheat software.
Okay.
You could use Proton, but that's up to like Valve to be doing that to make it work. But
Most of the they won't get it away.
most of the time it wouldn't work. So it kind of varies. Yeah. So what was your question again?
No, like, can every game play on the Steam Deck?
I would say no.
Nah, like I'd say
Okay,
maybe
so-
90 to 80%. 80% is a good number.
Especially with emulations as a variable. Still not really. Like Steam officially, not really, but with mods and certain things, possibly.
Yeah. I'd say it's definitely like if it runs on the Steam shop, you're good. If it's outside of that, the chances go way lower.
100%.
Okay, so another question.
Mm-hmm.
Can every Steam game be playable on the Steam machine? Not Steam machine, but the Steam Deck.
Like every Steam game can run on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, every game that's available on Steam,
So-
can it play? Can it play on the Steam Deck?
Because I know Decky has a mod that shows games that are playable on Steam and not playable, or that won't really run well. Like
There's ones that definitely won't run well on it.
100%.
Okay, so yeah,
For
that's,
sure.
Yeah, because that's
Like Monster Hunter Wilds, 15 frames per second, bro.
Like
Like, you're
Elden
not really
Ring,
getting
okay.
anything out of that
Like
sucker.
Elden Ring, you most likely might die before you even walk.
You could
Okay.
do 30 locked, but like you're running low. Like you might as well get your PS5 if you're trying to enjoy the experience.
Like even for fighting games, I probably would not rely on playing online or Wi-Fi in the first place. But,
yeah, same.
but you can still play like within 30 FPS.
Yeah, it comes to the point where like the appeal is the handheld, So there's specific games that really are great for that. I think a good example is like indie games, but to have like that nice like console like experience, you're not looking for that with the Steam Deck.
Yeah,
So the Steam Machine would be more capable of doing those kind of things. That's for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. Because I wanted to know more about that, especially because you both guys have Steam Decks, correct?
Yeah. So we're
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
Excited and look into this more.
So
yeah.
yeah, because
I might
when
just
I,
go
'cause
walk
when
to
I-
my car to get my.
yeah, because when I saw like it's targeting for deck verified games, so I'm thinking okay, so games that are that are playable on the Steam Deck. I'm guessing that those games would run at 1080 30 on the Steam machine.
It's a similar quality, is what it sounds like.
Yes. So pretty much like if anything runs on your Steam Deck and you got a good nice icon on it,
It'll
it
run
is
on-
gonna run without a doubt on this machine. And the target is 1080p 30. So like you can do that and play with that, and you won't have a doubt in your mind that it will run at that. But you can make it run with better frame rate if you tinker with the settings a little more.
Okay, all right,
So
that makes more sense to me.
Anything is doable.
yeah, I don't think it's like this is what every game's gonna run at. You know?
No, it's
Okay, so because
it's a
for
case
me,
by case.
because when I read it, I ain't gonna lie, I did like skimmed over it a bit or whatnot, but I was like, you know what, let me wait until the podcast and ask some questions about it because I don't own a Steam Deck, but if I were to buy one for someone,
Oh, good luck.
then like what would the experience be for games that are verified for the Steam Deck, and how would it translate to like the Steam machine, especially with
I
news
think it would
information
run
with
the
this? So now with what you guys are telling me, it's like so pretty much with the resolution and the hardware of the Steam Deck, at minimum it'll run at 1080 30 on the Steam machine.
Yeah, like it is
I think it's
the
definitely gonna
it
run.
is the floor. It is the bare minimum.
It's gonna run fine.
So it would run fine. If I think a case would be you get like a yellow icon where it's like, yeah, you could do 1080p 30, but like it's with specific settings.
It's gonna suck, is what it's trying to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you'll be fine, especially with the idea being that it's supposed to go 4K 60 with frame generation. I think it was called with the specific
Yeah.
with this FRS or whatever it's called, FRS. Like playing around with the settings, graphics, but 4K 60 is like the goal that they're going for. This is like the bare minimum.
Okay, that makes so much more sense to me now.
No, yeah, I've seen so many
it's a
people
bit-
get
it's-
scared.
It's a bit awkward at first, but if you're not playing it as an actual serious console, you'll have a better time. Is what that tells me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you run it like a Steam Deck just because you couldn't get a Steam Deck, that makes more sense.
Okay.
But if you're trying to play like Battletoads or like the highest quality game you can humanly imagine, that's where you're going to be air fried.
Yeah, like I'm not expecting this thing to, be able to play games like GTA 6 at 1080 60 or 4K 60, especially with the hardware.
You're just gonna
Especially
watch
with
my
that hardware, it's just like I don't think that's possible. But if they want for their games like their Steam Deck verified games to be 1080 30 minimum, then I can get behind that. So I did put out a tweet saying that this might be cooked. I'm gonna end up deleting that.
Oh, I trolled.
so
No. Still keep it there.
I
'cause
trolled hard.
We don't know because we're still waiting on them to make announcements on when this comes out.
Oh, I trolled.
True
hard.
that.
I'm pissed because they said early 2026. Chat, we got 3 more months till the first half is done,
Yeah.
and they haven't said anything. I'm upset.
You know,
I'm
what I said
upset.
On a side comment, Silver. I love how I quoted. At least some of the FGC can play half fighting games right now. Fighting games at half quality.
That have
Yeah,
quality.
literally.
I was trolling.
Ugh.
Because I remember that day so well when a lot of people in the FGC wanted to get behind. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be the new standard. I'm
No,
just
they're gonna
like,
hate it.
Nah.
Like, oh, this is gonna be the new standard for fighting games. I'm just like,
So it's probably going to be good in third world countries and other places that don't have locals in certain events.
right,
But that's just digressing a whole different topic.
right.
Yeah, we need the numbers. That's just what it is. We need to know how much it is.
That's
Yeah.
the only question. But if it's presenting those qualities that it's settling at 1080p with 30 FPS as like one of the best for Steam Deck verified, That's where the pricing is going to be at a weird direction.
Yeah. Because they said that they're not pricing this like a console,
Which is weird.
but more so as a PC, and I'm just like,
That's even
they
weirder.
said entry-level PC.
and I'm
That's
just like,
worse. You're like that one
Look
guy.
at the prices now. You're spending at least $1,000 bare minimum.
So the thing is, Steam Decks are sold out. Not many people can get them anywhere. They're not even going to make a new wave yet.
Yeah, their Steam Decks are sold out right now. Every single variation sold out. So even the $650 version, which is I believe the OLED with the 512, or it was a 1 terabyte.
I think it's a terabyte.
Yeah, so a
Yeah.
terabyte at an OLED like display, you're kind of just stuck with having to wait if another batch comes out. And with all this RAM problems coming up, we're waiting. We're waiting for this, and things aren't looking that great either.
I have an LCD one. I can't complain. I like it.
I love my Steam Deck. It's my favorite. I find I find myself coming back to it a lot more often when I want to play games that I don't want to be on the computer for. Because let's be real, sometimes we just want to chill like on our beds. But instead of doom scrolling, right, you could replace it with like 30 minutes of a game. And I've been doing that, and it's a way better experience.
Redacting my question. Never mind. Anyways, what's the next topic?
all right. So next one.
Ooh, this one's gonna be spicy.
Yes.
Okay, this thing is not responding.
Man, I'm about to drop kick this.
It's loading. Give it time.
Give it time, chat. We're cooking. We're throwing the pasta in there. We got the water. Then throw the sauce.
Man, that loaded.
This is a spoon.
Like,
Stirring the pot.
how many times are you going to say stirring the pot?
Throw some salt. We like seasoning. Some pepper.
Okay.
It's getting heavy.
So 2 more times.
Some more pepper because I like it spicy.
That poor article.
Throw out the water.
Which one is it?
Oh, okay, I got
I
it.
think it's the EA one.
Yeah,
I thought it was
that's the
I thought
next.
it was
Yeah.
I realized that's another link. Oh yeah, there we go.
All right, so I've been talking about this. I made a video not too long ago giving you guys my thoughts on it. So EA makes layoffs across all Battlefield studios in realignment bid.
Realignment bid?
Yeah, so pretty much EA's looking to be bought out by the Saudis.
Oh yeah,
so,
that.
Yeah, so they're looking to be bought by the Saudis. So that is causing the shift of getting rid of some people in preparation for this bid and whatnot. And I'm just like, y'all just had a very successful game launch last year,
Now watch it.
beating Call of Duty. Do you know how impressive that is?
That is a feat that not many companies can do.
Monumental.
Yeah. And already you're laying people off. It's like, we understand, like, if a game does poorly, layoffs are, bound to happen. But if a game succeeds, why are you laying people off? I don't get it.
It's like why
It makes no sense.
I'm starting to notice a trend here, and I kind of want to put my 2 cents on it.
Go for it.
Like before, like PS2, PS1, borderline PS3, companies were making like profits off of yearly like profit gains and expenses. A game would come out, and then you would have that, right? And then if they wanted to make extra cash, a DLC would come around, and it would be the next year, right? So this is like the standard that game companies were working with. Now, the new standard is there's a game, and if it's not a single player game, they want monthly profits on these games. Monthly profits with fucking battle passes, fucking skins, and like this is their new bare minimum. It's no longer yearly games
new method.
and yearly like expenses. It's monthly games, monthly expenses, monthly skins. They want monthly profit earnings, and if it's not meeting that, then the game's dying. High Guard is a perfect example of that. It's a game that got released and didn't last a month. So it didn't meet, I imagine, the goal that it was supposed to do in 1 month. And that's what's happening. These companies are having a new expectation, a new standard for these games. And they're doing it on fucking Battlefield of all games. You're paying $70 to get the game in the first place. So I'm flabbergasted that we're over here 6 months later and they're like, oh yeah, we're not meeting the fucking numbers with all the DLC and shit. Like, what the fuck? Come on, guys. But I just wanted to put my 2 cents of what I think the situation is.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, they're just. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. So the article reads: It has just been revealed that Electronic Arts is making a slew of layoffs across the Battlefield Studios group of teams, moving to realign the space as the live service release of Battlefield 6 continues to evolve. It has been reported that employees across Criterion, DICE, Ripple Effect, and Motive are impacted. This revelation came courtesy of IGN, which confirmed that an unknown number of developers have been hit by the layoffs. But it seems to be impacting several teams across various offices that make up the Battlefield Studios group. Battlefield teams battered by layoffs. Despite the Battlefield 6 initial success, the game started slipping substantially within the weeks that followed its release in October 2025. It has immersive expectations, with many believing it would be the saving grace of a series in dire need of revitalization. Unfortunately, the game's evolution has yielded the strongest results as the months have pushed on. IGN's recent report lifted the veil on the wave of layoffs that has reportedly struck the end-to-end network of studios backing Battlefield. We've since reached out to Electronic Arts and the Association Studios for clarification. In February, it was revealed that Battlefield 6 developers were anxious about the game's roadmap, critically aware of the make-or-break nature of each success. At the tail end of 2025, EA shareholders approved the landmark $55 billion sale that would see the company acquired by consortium, including the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, which I mentioned earlier. That the Saudis are looking to buy up EA. So I'm guessing the reason why we're seeing the shift is because they're getting ready to be bought. So some people gonna have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move some people around so that way they have their own set of staff and then cut costs.
Yeah. Shortly after that, the shocking news dropped that Vince Zampella, the head of the Battlefield franchise, has been killed in a car accident,
Damn.
which we discussed weeks ago.
I forgot about that.
Rest in peace, my goat.
So it's not looking good for Battlefield, and I've even given my thoughts on it, like especially when I gave my season 1 thoughts of Battlefield 6, and I was like, there's some things that they do need to change if they want to continue to keep growing the community and keeping them together. Otherwise, they're just gonna slowly lose people, very, very slowly. And the biggest complaint many of us Battlefield players are, continuously expressing to DICE, the people of Battlefield, like the developers of Battlefield, like, we need more content. The 2-map strategy, it's not working. It's like, no, not just that. Like, not only we want more maps, but we just want more features. Like, we still don't have like persistent server browsers to where we could play all the new maps and the current maps all in rotation. We don't have that, like, compared to previous Battlefield games. We want, persistent servers. We want actual DICE servers that are persistent. We also want other features that'll definitely help the gameplay, like proximity chat. We want that. We don't have that. We want platoons, to where we can create a platoon and we have like a squad of our guys and we can just go into a game. Because previous Battlefield games, you could have, like, of course you have your 4 in a squad, but if you want to get more of your team, like, let's just say there's 4 of y'all, there's about 8 or 12 of y'all can actually get into one game. And we don't have that. And it's just like, okay, I can understand we're not going to get the maps right away because the maps take a long time to develop and to make sure that it runs well. That's why we have Battlefield Labs, to make sure that they iron out these issues, because the current map that they have out right now is really good. I've played on it several times. It's a good map. and the quality is really good. So I understand that you're not able to put out multiple maps like how you did back in the past, because back in the past when they did put out multiple maps, especially with their map packs, because we would get 4, there'd be some bugs, some glitches here and there. And we lived through it. We just dealt with it. We still had fun with it. It was fun, but it took a while for the Battlefield devs to work the issues, fix the game, and that way we would have a nice solid experience. And when I play on the new map, I don't have like those issues, except this one issue to where when I'm in the trenches and I just randomly just die out of nowhere, like I'm like, what the hell? But besides all that. We just want more content with this game, and it's just like it's not it. These limited time modes, it's not doing it. These new special game modes, it's not it. It's like no, it just does not fix that itch that we want out of a Battlefield game, and they're suffering for it. So I don't. To me, I think the reason why they're laying off devs is because of this bid. I really do not think it's due to the fact that, okay, Season 2 is not looking so good, and they're being impacted by that, because the fact that there's no way that's the case, because the fact that last year you guys had the most successful game launch. You've won awards for Best Multiplayer Shooter of the Year. You beat Call of Duty in sales. There is no way... I refuse to believe that they're laying people off because of that. I honestly think it's because of this bid they're laying people off. I honestly think so. That's just my assumption with the knowledge, with the information that's been presented to us. That's just like my take on the whole thing, because I refuse to believe that because Season 2 is not doing good, because it's like I can understand Season 2 not doing good, because with Season 1, a lot of people are still playing Season 1. A lot of people bought the Season 1 Battle Pass, myself included. And I was just like, they need to make some changes before Season 2 comes out. We see what Season 2 roadmap looks like, and it's just like, it's not it. We need more. This is not it. A lot of it's fluff. Oh, sure, you give us free cosmetics, but it's like useless cosmetics. Let's be for real. And I honestly think their free-to-play Battle Royale game mode, a lot of people aren't playing that.
Yeah, I don't think it's...
No, they aren't.
I wish they just, instead of Battle Royale, they just went with the extraction shooter route. That's just me. But if they want to change things around, maybe revisit something that they used to have back in Bad Company 2. Like, I would love for them to bring back Onslaught mode, which is a PvE game mode where you and 3 of your buddies have to go through waves of enemies, and then you complete the objective. I think that'll be a hell of a lot fun.
Would be crazy.
Yeah,
That does sound exciting.
And you could just make that game mode free to play.
That would sell people easily.
Yeah.
But
Be less work, I imagine.
they're playing with people's feelings right now.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that they make a huge comeback with Season 3, because I have no faith in Season 2. Even though next week they are going to release a new map, maybe that will get people to come back, because I heard that this new map that they're going to have is very similar to those who have played Battlefield 4 Battlefield 4 Operation Locker Room and Battlefield 3's Operation Metro, where it's just it's nothing more than just you're in this cave or this underground like environment, and y'all just shooting the shit out of each other. There's like squads of enemies like hurdle in the corner, chucking grenades and whatnot, and you with a machine gun, you're flanking the enemy. You see all these enemies, you're just like, I'm gunning them all down.
That sounds like a horror show.
Right, it does, but that's how a lot of people leveled up their weapons. That's how a lot of people end up getting a lot of XP.
Easiest farming in the world.
Literally, because we would have servers of 200% XP of just these game modes, and there would be official DICE servers, and people would just go there just to farm.
For real.
Because all they would do is just like shoot each other in a hallway. Look up Operation Metro, Operation Locker Room on YouTube, and just look at Conquest, primarily Conquest. Bro, it is just
A bloodbath.
it is nothing but grenade spam, rocket launcher spam, machine gun spam.
I can imagine
you name
content
it.
creators back then playing this in a rage.
But it was our go-to because this was the fastest way to level up your weapons.
I mean, yeah, there's no harm in that.
So,
You ready for the next one?
absolutely.
Which one is that again?
The Pikmin.
Oh yeah, the copyright. I know I sent it on GameStop.
Is that the bottom? Yeah, pick mine.
All right, I got the article.
Yeah,
Pull it up.
I found this real quick, but you want me to read it?
Yeah. Let me just get it on the screen.
I heard it's popping.
Popping with lawsuits.
All right, go for it.
So on GamesHub.com, we didn't put this in the video, so apologies, chat. What is Pikmin, the new monster taming game everyone's talking about? This was literally released this morning. A new game called Pikmin has exploded onto the gaming internet this week, and not for good reasons. Revealed with a trailer on Steam on March 9th, 2026, Pikmin is billed as a multiplayer open-world survival crafter where players explore a world of lost civilizations, fighting, farming, and building industrial empires alongside creatures called Pikmin. Now, does that sound familiar, guys?
Yeah, sounds like
That doesn't sound suspicious.
Anyway, had to make sure I'm not crazy.
sounds like a game where in the world you got a lot of
Like-
pals.
It doesn't sound familiar, chat. But the game is developed by Pocket Game and published by Network Go, a Chinese studio whose only prior title is Hanyo World, an early access survival game from 2023. On the surface, it sounds perfectly reasonable. Dig a little deeper or just watch the trailer, and it becomes clear that Pikmin is one of the most brazen cases of intellectual property borrowing the game world has ever seen. So then it goes, how Pikmin copies Pokemon very obviously. So let's start with the creatures themselves. One small orange being in a Steam screenshot looks like Pikachu and Pawmi hybrid, while black and red creature transforms onto a motorcycle, much like Pokemon's Caridon. There's also a blue creature reminiscent of Lapras, a blue penguin that resembles Piplup, an orange dragon that has a meaningful distinguish itself from Charizard. It doesn't stop there. A creature in Pikmin's trailer resembles the Pokemon Cerulege, but with 4 legs, and allegedly even this minor design change appears to have been lifted from a fan concept posted on an Instagram back in February 2025 on Instagram. Copying from Nintendo's is one thing, but allegedly stealing from fan artists who lack the resources to fight back has drawn particular disgust against the gaming community. And you see this picture, it looks like Link is in the center.
Bro.
Link with a card. That man looked like he had a MasterCard. Going against a Pokemon or Pikmin with a karate gi or something. So then it goes, the Zelda connection. Why is the main character Link? Here's where things get truly surreal. Pikmin's protagonist looks remarkably like Link from Zelda Breath of the Wild. Same hair, clothes, and the player spend a significant amount of time traversing the world via a paraglider.
Sounds familiar.
Around 25 seconds in the trailer, the Link-alike
Link-alike.
character hitches a ride on a bird-type Pikmin, flying past a large tower, blasting a beam of light into the sky. Structures that look strikingly similar to Sheikah Towers from Breath of the Wild. Even the opening music in the trailer has been widely noticed as sounding distinctly Zelda-like. It appears the avatar customization will be a feature in the final game, so the use of Link look-alike in the trailer may be a calculated attempt to grab attention. Whether it's deliberate or not, it's a bold move for a studio to presumably knows Nintendo's legal team exists.
I want to play the trailer.
You know, I'm watching it too.
I think it's important for.
Oh
the
my
audience.
god, the first 2 seconds.
Frame 1, bro. Paraglider. Frame 1.
Let me full screen this, y'all.
Yeah, the people need to see this one. Oh my god, you used to see knockoffs of everything. Oh, Scorpion. Okay.
A Lapras. Yeah, I see the Lapras look alike.
Oh my god, big ass Swampert lookalikes.
Wait till you see the not Pikachu.
Bro.
What the fuck is this? Diet Pikachu. Oh my god.
Bro.
Pika dude, that's Pika dude, bro.
That's Pika, bro. But do you see everything else that's going on right now?
This looks like a world of pals, if you ask me.
Looks hellish.
Crafting, okay.
Why does the main character have like an arrow quiver?
I think that's drip.
Drip.
And he
Yu-Gi-Oh!
throws cards to capture the monsters.
I'm ahead of you guys in this trailer.
Is that Giratina?
Yep, that's guaranteed.
Brother. No. Or Rayquaza.
Like, I'm ahead of you guys for a couple seconds, and I'm seeing some knockoffs that I shouldn't be. My eyes. Oh my god.
Yo.
You got a machine gun, rocket launcher.
No, just keep watching it.
So anyways, I started blasting. That backflip was crazy.
Is that
Not
that 02?
not the Akira slide, bro.
But that looks like 02, high key. I saw it.
Wait,
Roadhog?
wait. Is that Roadhog from Overwatch?
So who's adding this into your wish list, guys?
It's about to be the best $30.
Brother.
But like, they came out.
Chat, are y'all seeing this?
This is about to be the best $30 I would ever spend.
Oh, hey, look, I got recommendations from South Florida Gamers Podcast. Anyway, I have tears coming down my eyes. This shit ass. Oh my god, that's horrible. They literally put Roadhog.
That is bold.
Oh my god.
Bold.
I want to see the comments of this.
You're gonna go into the page directly. I might do the same actually.
This has to be some kind of satirical performance art, right?
Satirical.
I have never seen the developers having such a strong death wish until now.
0% chance this makes it through intact.
How many franchises do you want fused? Yes.
Legend of Pals, Tears of the Nintendo.
Breath of the Pokemon. I like how they added the Digimon at the end just to show they don't discriminate.
Dude, I saw that guy transform and fly. I was like, oh, dude.
Pikmin starring John Zelda.
Yeah.
At least Power World had a degree of plausible deniability. This one is even trying. My brother in Christ literally watched Power World and says, I want.
What?
Oh, so you see the one that says, you know when the soup tastes weird and you see she added everything to the soup? Even the dirt from the flower beds is in it. Which comment do you see, something?
Bro, I saw that, bro. This team got no fear. Lawyer bait.
Lawyer bait. They get their strongest.
Yeah,
lawyers.
you know what? I'm not even going to be mad if Nintendo sues these guys. This one they can have.
This one they can have.
Oh my god, not an Akira bike slide.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, all right, guys. All right. Oh my god.
Nintendo and Power are gonna have fun with this one.
If this gets a full release, I'm going to be shocked.
Power World equals Pokemon with guns. Pikmin equals Power World with Zelda.
What's the next one?
Oh my
ChatGPT
God.
combines most of the popular Nintendo IPs into a game and also added Overwatch and Digimon in 2.
Okay, I just want to.
But I got one more comment that got me sold. The first, all the way into the top comment is Icarus. Damn, the sun's so warm today. Let me get closer.
Icarus.
If you know that reference, you know. Shall I?
All I just want to say when it comes to Pikmin is the fact that
They got nuts.
Yeah, they got balls of steel.
They got hella nuts.
They got balls of steel.
And the
audacity to do and
to go through with this too is the funnier part. Like, the Chinese do not care.
They saw that and they're like, "Yeah, drop that on YouTube right now."
So,
bro.
Oh my god.
so I'm gonna skip a couple questions. I'm going to the could Nintendo sue Pikmin, the legal picture.
Okay.
Given Nintendo's aggressive track record on IP protection, many observers think legal action is essentially inevitable. Nintendo is currently locked in a legal fight with Pocket Pair over Power World, with the lawsuit hinging partly on patents related to monster summoning mechanics. The battle has grown complicated. However, in November 2025, Japanese authorities rejected one of Nintendo's patent attempts related to monster capturing mechanics, and the U.S. Patent Trademark Office began re-examining a previously granted Nintendo patent. That murky legal backdrop may be one reason Pocket Game has moved ahead with a trailer despite having no confirmed release date. As of March 2026, neither Nintendo, the Pokemon Company, nor Pocket Pair has announced any legal action against Pikmin or its developers. That is unlikely to remain a case for long.
Man, I'm gonna just say that.
We can end it. We can end that topic there, but
Yeah,
Jesus.
we get it. Yeah, we definitely get it there.
Oh my God, chat.
Pikmin, the developers of Pikmin will be like, yo, we're just gonna, since Nintendo fighting with Power, we're just gonna go ahead and just throw this out there.
They said they're too busy fighting somebody. It's like you're driving, right? And you're speeding, and you're like, I'm gonna speed next to this cop that already pulled somebody over, because they're not gonna stop giving the ticket to the guy there to stop you speeding. It's like, that's
You
what
got
they're
it on the
doing.
money.
Exactly.
That is right on the money.
Yeah, you're right on the money. It's like, yo, Nintendo, you're so busy fighting Power World. Look at this blatant rip off over here that is just literally passing you by. By the time they catch up to them, it's just like, oh, they already made their millions. They've already made their money.
They already made their money, bro. That is killing me, bro. The gall on these guys. I love
If
it.
Audacity had a picture in a moment, it's these guys.
Yep. We're gonna see. Some,
Bro, they are just
So
I'm applauding that. That's gangster. It's blatant rip off of Pokemon.
game is game.
It is.
Game is game. Can't hate the
See,
player.
we
hate
were
the
hesitant
game.
about Power World, but Pikmin now.
Bro, Pikmin is a habitual line stepper.
Oh, 100%. There's so much copyright you can.
Yo, Penguin! Nintendo's getting third party. Oh my god, no, it's fucking
That's the
ball.
realest.
No, literally.
Fucking A, bro.
That was the realest comment I've ever seen. Why did
Getting third party. That's so fucking real.
you know what? Maybe Honey Pop should be 65%.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we do need Unipop with 60, bro. Holy shit.
But yeah, if you go on the first page and you see that trailer, but you just see everything chaotic around it, like the knockoff Charizard. You see the fucking 02, the Lucario just sticking out.
The Pika dude.
The Pika Bro.
The Pika bro.
And it says Nintendo on the bottom left. Oh my god, I have tears coming down my eyes. Like, this is the most horrible looking announcement.
Brother.
I love it.
So are we ready for the next topic?
Yeah, which is the last one.
Oh.
Oh my god.
That-
That is hilarious.
I'm glad I found that. I wasted no time.
That
was beautiful. I could do that all day.
Yeah. All right. Last topic. The brutal truth behind why newcomers can't stick with fighting games. This was a very interesting post that I forgot who shared this. Was it Butters?
Yeah, I think it was me.
Yeah. So I read it, and it's definitely spot on. So Butters, I mean,
All right, I'll
take charge.
I'll take the mantle on this one, chat. So let's kind of have the first thing on there. So we're gonna basically, this article is from a Japanese player, Kurokuro Japan. He makes a nice, I guess, article and point on this on Twitter, and he calls it the brutal truth behind why newcomers can't stick with fighting games. We've had this conversation a billion times, why fighting games are hard,
Yeah.
fighting games aren't easy, and why it's not the most successful thing And we've had other arguments before about
Even
what
players themselves.
yeah, players themselves. Also, different arguments about why fighting games aren't financially successful. But now this is more so about the players and newcomers. So, skimming over it, you got like the good old tale of like players from like the 90s and 80s who've already been in fighting games. They don't get that the new gen, like the Gen Zers, we call them the 29Ters. They're not really about the fighting game. They say it's too complex. You know, the combos are a little too crazy, and stuff like that. So the point he's saying is that down here, because the systems are too complex, because there's too much to memorize. He's quoting things I've heard from other players of why they don't like it, and he says wrong. It's a far more terrifying reason. One that slowly but surely grinds away at your spirit, you as your ego and you as a player. In today's world, online matches are the norm, but the fighting game scene, born from the old arcade culture, was overflowing with success experiences. So what is that? Validation. So to go down, this was back in the era of like 1980s, 1990s, when fighting games were booming in the arcades, and people would stay on there, and cool super moves were introduced with Fatal Fury 2 or Art of Fighting, where if you do like a quarter circle input or a dragon input or a half circle, you do special moves, right? So this is cool because at that time, we didn't, bless you, my goat.
Thank you.
Bless you.
At this time, we didn't really have home consoles be as common as it is now.
Yeah.
So people would go to arcades to play. In Japanese culture, it was more often you would go to an arcade after work, or kids after school would go there. It was a hub where people could go somewhere that they didn't want to be at home for. They probably didn't have good family situations or financial situations. They need time to kill. Arcades was that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So when you're playing fighting games and stuff like this, people would be around looking and watching what other people are playing. With thousands of cabinets there, there's going to be people who are bound to be interested in the fighting games, and all these cool players who are doing things they didn't even know existed. But keep in mind, we didn't have computers either. So what you saw was you being there for this event. So special moves like that, the crowd is like cheering behind you. Simply executing a super special move would spark echoes of huh or whoa from the gallery, earning you enough status, quote unquote, that even random delinquents you didn't know would give you a nod of respect. Hence, heck, those command inputs weren't even publicly documented to begin with. This is before we even had forums.
Oh yeah, this is like older Mortal Kombat and such, and this is what
Older Mortal Kombat, older Street Fighter, older KOF.
and this is like a perspective of Japan.
Yeah, this is a perspective of Japan.
Let's just remind everybody that
Yeah.
the post is translated.
Yeah, this is a Japanese text, but it's translated. So this is coming from that point of view. But we have a little bit of an American experience here with our arcade cabinets.
Yes.
So going on, simply executing that, yeah, you get that respect from random delinquents near you. So what about today? Now we're making the comparison of how it is today. We have helpful tutorials, so much YouTube videos and content available out there for you. Convenient one-button specials with modern input in Street Fighter. No motion inputs in 2x KO.
Yeah.
So landing a move or chaining a combo is no longer something to be praised. It's devolved into now the bare minimum starting line just to earn your player rights. No one claps for even the most gorgeous combo anymore. That we call it Twitter combos. Oh, this guy only knows how to do his Twitter combos. You screw up once, and the guy on the other side of the screen just smirks. He dropped it that time. So why are we saying this? We're going to go into that a little bit. Some fighting games even fell to obscurity because their combo timers are dragged on too long.
Oh yeah.
Fist of the North Star is
That's an exception though.
Yeah, excluding Fist of the North Star, yeah. So combos are really long. 2x KO is another argument of people saying combos are really long. So just to bring that point out. So remembering that rush from the arcade days, the thrill of victory, and a random challenger rank, the insta high of leveling up, your match screen drawing eyes without you even turning around. You have people, audience around you. Sure, you can feel the spotlight of an idol on stage at Bokudan or Tokyo Dome, like a regular person might. So musicians or artists in like
Concert.
a concert. But arcade fighting games back then let you taste something close to that. Right now, you're the overwhelming star, the star of stars, with no escape from this moment. The second wind, quote unquote, flashes on the screen, the folks around the cabinet would chime in with not bad or congrats, winning carved out in a real spot for you in the community. And regulars would wordlessly hand over a canned coffee, like a beverage as like a reward. It was an intense shower of validation. You got validation from this experience from other people who are either players or not even players, but they got to watch that, right? Now, in comparison to that culture of the in-person arcade culture, now it's 2 a.m. You're in a room, probably doesn't have the lights on. Just you and the monitor, celebration, your promotion, and solitary joy. You get Tekken King, for example, and Tekken. And you're like, all right, cool, that's pretty dope.
You get a Master Street Fighter rank.
You get a Master in Street Fighter rank. You get
Vector.
past Emerald Run in 2XKO.
You become
Nobody's there to cheer for you unless you go out of your way and make a tweet. But that's it. You don't get that same validation that you would in person at an arcade or at a local.
True.
Stuff like that. So, continuing on, all you can do is screenshot it, post it on Twitter, and that's pretty much it. And that point. Going forward, past the total draught of small success experiences. In today's scene, there's no flesh and blood gallery like there was at arcades to catch those little moments in real time. I lost, but I showed off that hidden move that I labbed, so I'm good for today. Or I snagged a round off that strong player, so it's basically a W. Win, and it's a silent fist bump alone when you're at home alone. Lose, and you stare into the void alone. No validation. You just have to take that L, right? Just monk-like days fixated on the soulless ebb and flow of points. So ranked.
Yep.
Most people break and flee to team-based FPS games. Over there, you can just spray bullets and get a kill, and your teammate will shout, nice try or no worries to hype you up.
Definitely Japan.
Yeah. A local arcade tourney with maybe 10 entrants and no pros, even winning that handed you a success experience. At a kindergarten play, we'd praise the kid playing the tree behind Momotoro, and whoa, you're amazing. Such a great tree. What happens when we don't give that experience to people? That kid will never play in the tree again. Parents, I'm sure you would probably relate to this. If your kid is doing a performance or they're doing theater, you got to cheer them on for even the smallest role. Because if they don't get that validation, they probably don't even want to do that again.
Real.
Moving forward, modern fighting games are chronically afflicted with validation deficiency syndrome and success experience flu. I like these words.
Yes, this is real.
Yeah. That's why we're begging old timers, as he would say, if you spot a newbie at a tourney or an online lobby, the second they land a cool move, shower them with praise, basically. Hey, yo, a Reiwa era storm or that counter to advance for us mere mortals. You know, something a little easy of a dialogue. But yeah, pretty much saying here, I don't think we need to really like go past these other 3 lines of dialogue because now we're at the end. Basically, we're not cheering or hyping people up that are new to fighting games. They don't get to have that same experience that they used to before, where people of like are walking by or cheer or just like regulars or competitors, they're not cheering on the new blood. And that's basically the point of this article. We have to give validation out here.
I wanna say that this whole thing, like now that you've read it again and whatnot, and I still end up having the same thoughts that I had when I first read it, was the fact that like this alone validates my reason for the direction that I want to go to, that I want to go with in 2026, and that is catering more towards the casual players, the people who come out, who don't regularly come out, who don't, have that camaraderie, that don't have that, that crowd behind them or whatnot, like people cheering you on. And I remember when I was young, and I would play at the arcade cabinets, especially at a laundromat, like especially when I got off like school. You know, there was this, you know, go to the laundromat. I could play Mortal Kombat on 3 or 3 Ultimate, and I would just be there. And then slowly but surely, you'll start to see people, you know, behind you or whatnot. And even though, of course, you didn't know the combos by head, you would sometimes like write it down or whatnot. Be like, okay, I got to do this, and then you would try to like, you know, imitate it on the actual arcade cabinet. And I remember, you know, that feeling of like, you know, I got to win or whatnot, and you know, talking shit. I'm feeling proud. Like, it definitely gives you a huge ego boost.
True.
And I remember that feeling so well. Like, before I even competed in FGC, before I even came into the FGC, like, I just remember that feeling of just, you're playing against someone and you slowly but surely you're starting to draw a crowd of people around you. Everyone's watching you, or you're watching someone else or whatnot. And you're just like, you're just watching the game because you're watching a story unfold between these two guys. They're playing really serious. They're locked in the game. They're not speaking to each other, and they're just going and going. I miss that feeling.
Yeah.
And this was like long before the internet became a thing. As you said, like long before we even had forums.
Yeah.
That feeling, that validating feeling when you're like playing, even if you lost, but you put up a hell of a fight and it was a close game, it still made you look good. It regardless. And if you lost, then it's just like, you know what? You just have to wear it on your sleeve and be like, you know what? I'll go home for the day. If not, it's just like, you know what? Get me back in. Get me back in. Let me play again. Let me play against you again. I miss those feelings. And
That's true.
just going through that again, just reading the whole thing again, it just validates my goal of just, I want to cater more towards that casual audience, cater more towards the people who don't come to locals because they don't get that feeling. And if we were to do that for one person that comes out, that one person can be 2 people. 2 people can be 4. 4 people can be 8.
And it
8
keeps
people
growing.
can be 16. And it just keeps going and going and going. And we just repeat this, you know, this culture, this something that we can create. Like something like this, even though this happened in Japan, because Japan has a very different culture than we do in the United States. We can emulate this for our own local levels. Everyone can emulate this for their own local levels. Like,
100%.
yo, if you see somebody new, let's watch them. Even if we're not going to put them on stream, let's get a crowd behind this person, you know? Let's watch them. Let's see how they doing and whatnot. And then win or lose, still congratulate them. Give them their props. That's just my thoughts on the whole thing. Like, we like the only way the FGC grows if we implement this, something like this, to where it caters to that casual that, as I said, they don't come out to locals. They're not that good in fighting games, but if they could get that support behind them, like, yo, don't give up, like, you know, lock in.
It's impactful.
Exactly. It's gonna mean a lot more, and then of course that brings out that hunger in them. Be like, I'm gonna come back next week, or you know what, I got some time, I can stay and play some casuals, and they learn, and then they slowly get better, and then get better. Then the next local, they'll be like, I'm ready to go again, and we watch their progress, and then eventually they slowly make top 8, then top 4, top 3, grand finals. They finally win the local.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of newcomers and Flins in the past.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of new players.
Hida is a perfect example of that. Like a newer person to strive and topping at the locals and such. And
What tag?
Nahida, I believe.
Nahida, yeah.
Playing Happy Chaos. Like, she started like bad, and then once you see her improve, that became like a different spiel. Like people took her as a threat.
Oh yeah, now everybody would see Nahida and they'd be like, I hope I don't have to fight Nahida in their path. That's what it becomes to.
Yeah, I unintentionally produce rivalries by just playing the way I do. I feel so bad.
No, 100%.
But like, I'll still show support. Like, as long as you say like a GG, show your respect to everybody. You're a good human. Like, you're in a better step than most people. Because some people like to be quiet, or some people just be egoful. But the goal is for a local, for a community, is just to bring people together, no matter what.
I agree. I think it's really important when there's a new player, especially, for example, if we have like high level players, right?
Yeah.
And usually the consensus of what I've heard for TO experiences is they get the new blood and they throw them into top one because they got to see what the top level of the local looks like.
It's more like, hey, fight with the wolves, see what we deal with. Welcome to the fighting game
Yeah.
community.
Well, you throw them into the wolves, but it's important to that player that recognizes that there's a new guy and they have to congratulate them for coming and playing, because it took already so much more to come out to a local in the first place.
Yeah.
This is somebody who plays this fighting game online that doesn't have to. If you're a console, you pay for online. If you're on PC, you don't. But you didn't have to go shell out $15 to come out to a local.
Yeah.
So you have to at least give recognition to those people who are new to this, who don't know this is a common thing or a standard for a competitor, to give them their flowers the first time you see them.
Yeah.
And it's important to say that. I think Sir Penguin's got a nice story for us too.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
He says, CEO, when I had a crowd behind me and the Versus Gaming peeps were cheering for me. I'll never forget that. And I think that also keeps pushing me and reminding me why I compete.
Exactly.
Yeah.
CEO, bro. Like,
That's
South
not-
Florida has got to show up for that.
Like,
so
we're like unanimously biased. We'll support a Floridian no matter what.
No matter
Summer
what.
Floridian, let me be correct about myself. Unless you know the person from Orlando.
Yeah. And it's so important, right, to give that experience to new players. And I think that's a responsibility that returning players have to do. It doesn't matter if you're the top brass in your local winning. It doesn't matter if you're like a 2 and 1er, I think it is, or 1 and 2er.
You mean 0-2?
A 1 and 2er, or even an 0 and 2er, right?
Yeah.
But once you fight that new guy, you got to give your praises to them for coming out.
Yeah.
Because you were in that shoes too. You were in those shoes too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I remember when I first started fighting games.
Yeah, I remember too. When MK11, bro, you was rocking Johnny and Kano with your cosplay fit.
I should have whooped your ass.
Yeah,
For beating my ass. So
for beating my ass.
I'm joking, but that's the first thing I told you when I realized I joined Isla without realizing it was you.
You're like, I know you. You beat my ass.
I should have hooked you up.
How to fuck you up.
Exactly. Those are the same words I've said to this day, Chad. Not a lie.
So,
But it's helped.
But yeah, I do want to. I highlighted this part because I want to. Eventually, I'm gonna go back and clip this part.
right.
I want this to be like my goal for 2026, and then of course, like add on to the goal that I had already, but also encourage everyone who goes to locals to be like, yo, make this a goal for 2026 as well. If you go to locals, make this a goal. That's why I'm begging you, old timers. If you spot a newbie kid at a tourney or at a tourney or an online lobby, we're gonna go offline. The second they land a single move, shower them with way over the top coddling. Yo, a Rewa era Raging Storm or that counter, too advanced for us mere mortals.
Okay, we don't need to be that dramatic, but
Yeah,
at least,
we don't need it. But like that message is still there.
Yeah.
the message is fair.
Today's youth are desperately short on that nutrient called small success experiences. Newbies are out there fighting in a lonely wasteland 100 times harsher than you can imagine. That's why I make the point to like and repost every post from newbie girls.
Real.
Like, let's get into the habit of if we see someone new, we welcome them in and we watch them play. If it's their first time joining the local, joining a bracket, let's watch them. Even if they're not on stream, like let's just watch them. Even if they're in losers bracket, let's watch them. Let's get some people behind their back. Let's get some people. Yeah, like of course, if I'm not, handling streaming stuff or whatnot, like let's get behind the newbies.
Oh, I'm commentating everybody.
Bro, I got you, bro. I'll be in there. You know me, I'll be on every fighting game. I'll hop on there and back them up.
Yeah, let's back them up and we're like, yo, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You got this. Like, let's encourage them. Let's just shower them with praise. And even if they lose, like, let them feel like, you know what, it's not that bad because, you know, I got people watching me and I feel like I can get better, do better.
No.
And there's people that's here that can help me improve my game.
Mm-hmm.
I think if a lot of us, especially here in South Florida, if we can do that for a lot of newcomers, as I said, that one person can go to 2, that 2 can go into 4, that 4 can go into 6, 6 to 8, +2, +2, +2 every single time, man, that can definitely grow a great and strong scene. Lots of competition for everybody, more people wanting to be involved, more people wanting to, you know, play more fighting games, and hell, we'd get even more people for games that could definitely use some love because there's some fighting games that people like, but there's not like a lot of people that come out for locals for it.
Man, I miss Mortal Kombat sometimes. I'm joking.
I'm gonna steal the spotlight, guys.
Go for it.
Do you guys like anime games that run on like old hardware?
Go
Have you heard
Humbers.
of Blaze Blue Central Fiction?
Don't you dare promote this propaganda.
I just think maybe we gotta promote some anime nights and we get some Blaze Blue Central Fiction,
Jack is
chat.
not listening to us. Anyway.
Listen. You want the hardest combos, the stylish combos, no input buffers? Come play Blaze Blue, chat. We can get a local going. We got monthlies. We could do weeklies.
Well,
I just
shut
want
the
to
damn
shout
up.
that out.
I'm just
want more
trolling.
Blaze Blue.
I'm trolling, but I do support that.
I just want more
Yeah.
Blaze Blue.
But like, all it takes is one person to have the action can change the actions of another person's courses. Their
Definitely.
paths. Like
Yeah.
you see convention tournaments, you see other events, you see so much stuff going on that it doesn't hurt to ask, "Hey, how you doing? Would you like to get into this game?"
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
getting someone into a fighting game is probably harder than them actually labbing or actually like getting into the scene.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because companionship or interaction is like the first part. The second part to getting good at fighting games is suffering. That's a later ordeal. We're not talking about the suffering. We're talking about at least getting someone into a game first before they have
Yeah.
to suffer.
Exactly.
And suffering can't always be bad. Some people like their positions in life, masochism, or just some psychopaths, but that's not important.
No, yeah, because at the end of the day, everybody gets on their fighting game because their friends got in it, right? Like I got into
That is
MK.
just competition.
Yeah, you got that outlier, I want to say, but usually somebody picks up a game and they're like, "Hey, you want to play Naruto with me?" Like I picked up Naruto on the PS2 and I got to play with my best friend. And then I picked up Tekken, then I picked up Street Fighter, and it's like it's all about that community, that friendship, right? And you could be that new thing for the new players.
I'm looking at survey. Whoops! I accidentally unfriended Butter.
I'm gonna drop kick that man frame one, bro. I swear to God. See me at Flynn's, bro. See me at TOT.
Next Friday. Anyways.
I'll do the 3v3 with you though.
But yeah, there's a lot of things you can do just to create more local interactions, more healthy approaches to those newer casual players. I have to say it that way slowly. But if you're slowly getting back into games, you can always join. You can be treated like a casual player if you want to.
Oh yeah. I want to bring up a story that happened the other day. We had Flynn's happen like a week ago.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first time we had Flynn's since like December, right? So
Oh, yeah.
lots of new people. A lot of people came out. I saw there was a new group of 4 players there. And I was like, all right, cool. This is dope. We got like new blood. This is exciting. And I got to fight one of them in my first match. So my goal, usually if I see a new person, I'm like, okay, cool. I got to gauge where they're at. I ain't trying to smurf, but I got to see where they're at. So I go ahead and pick Kazuya. I'm like, I got a decent Kazuya, but it's not amazing. But I kind of want to gauge where their experience is at, right? Because if they're new, the chances are they might get washed. Like, let's be real. If you pick like your strongest character, they're going to get washed. But they don't get to experience a fight. If I lowered the difficulty level, and this is controversial, I imagine, for a lot of competitors, but for me, it's valuable for me to have new people come into the experience and have a new community, because I want more people to enjoy this same experience that we all have in fighting games. So I'm gonna like use a different character that I'm a little bit more weaker with, but they're gonna have a better chance of fighting. They're gonna be like, oh, cool, I can like do this. I'm not getting hit with a like 90% combo. I'm getting hit with like a 50% combo and have more interactions. And that happened. I played the new guy. He used Dragunov, and I was like, okay, cool. I know like how to fight Dragunov, but not with Kazuya. So, you know, we play the game. I win the first one, and then something snapped in his head, and he figured it out. He 3-0s me the next one. I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing now. I gotta stop this. And in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna have to stop it now, and I'm gonna go back to Azu Senna. I'm gonna have to stop it because now I'm worried. Now I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for you to be cooking. So I go in there, and I do my thing. It was 3-2. It was 1-2 last game, last round. I was like, oh, he almost got my ass. But this is so important, right? Because it's not about like my experience. It was about his experience. Because when he got up, his friends were watching, and he was like watching the game, and they were like, dude, I was nervous for you. I was freaking out. And the guy who gets up, he's like, dude, that was like actually really close. Like, I could have really taken that. That was great. That was great. I heard that, and I was like, I got to help create experience for him that was valuable to him and his friends.
Yep.
And that's what we want for new players, right? I get some competitive players are just like, I'm here to get this job done. I don't know who you are. I'm gonna mollywop you. But you got to think back that you used to be that guy that was getting mollywopped. Yeah. And you want to create that experience for people. And I bring that story up because I'm hoping other people can take that message and create other experiences for other people like that.
Absolutely.
Man, meanwhile, I got sacked by everyone, like Herb's 4-phase buttons and everybody.
Bro.
I got the train ran on me.
Hey, bro, it made you...
I was traumatized.
Hey, yo, pause. Hey, no, it made you a better person.
No, I got my ass beat. And then I was like, I got to do something about this.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. I definitely, looking back, I definitely feel guilty for ending a lot of newbie, a lot of casual players, newbie players, fighting game, journey. I've ended a lot of them by sending them to Beefy Humanity round 1.
Oh my God.
Yo, Beefy. He just went.
I feel bad.
Because Beefy is the worst person to bring somebody into.
If it's not Beefy Humanity, then it's Turb.
Or Turb. Then it's Marvello. Then it's probably
Goosh.
There's no like winning in this.
Or if I give them like an easy round 1, then round 2, yeah, you're fighting Marvel round 2.
Yeah, like you're getting sent.
You're fighting Evo top 8 right now.
You're going to a boss battle.
If it's not Marvel, then it's either creator or it's gonna be 4-face buttons, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry.
There's no winning. There's no actual winning in those brackets. Those are death brackets.
Those are death brackets, right?
But then you had to fight freaky people like Ziga.
Oh.
All love. This is all love. Don't you worry.
Definitely.
All love.
I'm not a hater, but I love our locals, and we can talk smack about them, and they'll understand.
Yeah. But now looking back, it's just like I could have done things a lot differently. But I was a madman.
You're a psychopath.
I was just sending people out there to fucking die for my own sick amusement.
Clip that.
I'm a terrible TO for sending people to their early graves
and then clipping them later.
For content.
Hey,
I feel guilty for this.
I call this out because I'm a co-TO. And I'll do the same.
I'm here to just
sending people to Beef Humanity or Turb round 1. Like, bro, that was fucking criminal of me, man.
You'll do it again, though. That's the funny part.
No, that's why
if they piss me off, okay, all right, be like, get rid of them.
Get rid of them. If they piss you off, yeah.
Convention tournaments is even worse because, bro, some people get on my nerves. All I do is just look at Nightbreed and be like,
kill her.
It's either me or Nightbreed that have to do the job.
End it right now.
I'm just like, yo.
Nah, I remember SuperCon 2024. Like, you just told me, come here and take care of Street Fighter.
Literally.
And I took off my shirt and everything else. I was locked the fuck in.
Last year when I ran fucking Tekken.
Oh, you sent Wielder.
Yes, Wielder. I was just like, Wielder, speed this shit up.
Speed this shit up.
You put him for both guilty.
I gotta go home today, bro.
You're like, I'm tired. They're not giving us money. Just another pass for next year.
Oh my God.
I'll do it again.
But
yeah.
But now looking back at like Grant, yeah, it was funny.
It is funny still.
And it is, but it's just like now I want to go in a different path. It's like I want to welcome more of them in. I want them to, come out to the locals, become a regular of the locals, whatnot, be a part of the community because the more, the merrier. It helps the community strong. And then, of course, we can also use that to help populate other fighting games that definitely need that growth, because I would love to run a uni tournament that have about 20 players or more. I would love to run a Grand Blue tournament with 20 players or more. I would love to run a Street Fighter tournament with 30 or more, or Tekken with 30 or more. I would love to do that. Like that to me, that's like a goal, a goal to, achieve, to strive for, to get more people to come in. Hell, I would even love to be like, yo, y'all want to do Mortal Kombat? I'd be like, if they say, as long as it's not Mortal Kombat 1, if it's 11 or X, I will do it.
Yes, chat.
Oh no, do I have to get out of retirement?
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Listen, if we have 20 people for MK11, I might come out of retirement and be like, fuck it. I'm in. Count me in. Fuck it. I'll relearn the game. Why? Because there's a lot of new faces. There's a lot of new people that, enjoy the game, that love the game. I want to be a part of it. Who wouldn't? And it's like, for me, it's like, I don't care if I win or lose. I'm doing it for the love of the game, and I'm doing it for the community. So it's just like, yo, we're going to have a good time with this. We're going to shit talk. We're going to, hype each other up or whatnot. Why not?
Yeah.
But that's something I would love to do, love to see, is that we grow this community, and then we help populate all these other games within our community that could definitely use more people.
Yeah. Send the new ones to the hype guy. The one who like, yo, here's the Discord. Or they're like, yo, you're trying to run some like grind sessions. Yo, you trying to run some games after this? Send the new guys to those people.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna that's how it's gonna cook.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. But yeah, beautiful article. I think we got to hammer on the points of what we and all other competitors should be doing, what TOs want to make the new goal is for future locals.
Definitely.
I think we nailed that pretty well, yeah.
Sir Penguin says, Herbs is actually the guy that taught me frames and neutral when he slammed me in MK11. I appreciate the lesson, but damn, it hurt.
Lessons
I ain't
will
gonna
always
lie.
not be.
He taught me frames and all that shit too, and he mollywopped me with his cabal.
I'm gonna be real. I was after DMK. I was in Guilty Gear,
Bro, no, yeah, he threw you in the wolves with Guilty Gear.
It's like, I still love, after a year of like learning, he's like, I forgot to teach you about Roman cancels.
Like, yo, have you heard of Roman cancels?
And I was so pissed. And I'm like, oh, this makes sense now.
It's like, oh, that's how you do a combo. I just do the 2 hits, and that was it.
Like, and I'm just love beating people.
No, yeah. There's always going to be that one person that helps onboard people. Recognize that, find out who that is for your respective game communities, and I think that'll flourish your community really well.
Real.
Definitely.
I'm gonna hit some buttons though. My bad. You're gonna have to take that out.
I'm gonna just wake up DP.
Oh my god.
And with that being said, let's go ahead and put a bow on this episode and wrap things up. All right. Any final thoughts, Butters?
Yeah, no. I kind of want to hammer home the same article we just had. Be that change, as I always say. Be the change you want in the community. In this case, I want new members for the fighting game community. So I'm definitely going to be hyping up the new guys for sure as best as I can. And I'm going to slide them the Discords. Be the guy to slide the Discords. Outside of the fighting game stuff, Steam Machine, I want it, but it's not looking good, I'll be honest. Based off the vibes I'm getting, I want that device to succeed. It's something I would want as a Steam Deck user, but I'm cautious now. I was hopeful before, now I'm cautious. So we'll see how that go. Xbox is doing Xbox things. I'll let them cook, because you know what? They got to do something. And yeah, that Pokemon game's looking kind of Pokemon. Pikmon. Yo, balls of steel, man. Balls of steel. Outside of that, I think that's pretty much what I can say to the audience.
All right, Waluigi.
Man, we covered some really good topics this episode. From ranging with the Battlefield Studio layoffs, like I hope they get their shit together for a better season. With Pikmon, that's based. That's all I gotta say. Like that's pretty base just to approach a bunch of IPs and just say, hey, we're making a game, do something about this. Then when it comes to the Steam machine, I'm probably losing interest into purchasing one in the far future. I'm cool with a Steam Deck and having an actual PC and a gaming laptop that actually still works since 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Then with the Project Helix, I personally don't have much faith into it. They're just giving a bunch of like lines and slanders and just a slur of words just to impress the gamer. And when it comes to the brutal truth, support new players. Do the best you can, even if it's something minimal. A little bit of something beats a whole lot of nothing, as long as you show the efforts. What about you, Silver?
As for me, the new Xbox, I can care less.
Real.
The Steam machine, that price is going to be a deciding factor for me whether or not if I get one or not. We'll see. Pikmin, like what Butter said, balls of steel. The audacity that they got, literally habitual line steppers. I gotta give it to them. I can't hate it. I can't hate. And as for, the FGC, like, as I said, as me as a tournament organizer, my goal for this year is to begin catering more to the casual players. Getting them to be comfortable with the environment, enjoying the vibes, making sure that if there's a fighting game that we don't have casually for them to play, then I'll make it my mission to make sure that, okay, we got it. We typically have most fighting games on most of our consoles. Keyword most, if not some. But overall, with the tweet that Butter shared with us, like, yeah, let's start praising these newcomers when they come out to locals. Let's get behind them. Let's watch their game, and let's let them enjoy the moment. Let's hype them up. Win or lose, like, as long as they come out, they have a good time. They have an experience that they're not gonna forget, and they're still gonna be thinking about. That's gonna encourage them to come back out again and be able to prove themselves, be like, yo, I think I can get this guy. I think I can beat this guy. I want to try one more time. And then if they don't get it, but they end up getting real close, then all that means is that they're gonna keep coming back until they can get that satisfying win, and that's the big payoff. So I want to do that for 2026, and I still got plans for next month. I'm just talking with, the staff at Flynn's about what I want to do, especially for the month of April, because there's more fighting games coming out this year. I'm not going to be able to fit all of them in a Friday night, so I'm thinking about doing more Friday nights. Instead of bi-weekly, my goal is to do 3 Friday nights a month. To where the second one, like, my goal for the second one would be Under Night, of course, as the main event, the 9 o'clock slot. Blaze Blue, do that, and then of course Grand Blue. Blaze Blue, Grand Blue, Under Night on a Friday night, and then the other week will be Street Fighter, Tekken, Strive, 2XKO, and just go from there. Because next month we got Invincible versus.
April 30th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard anyone talking about that game, but I plan to run locals with that. And then of course, sometime in June there's Dead or Alive 6, but Dead or Alive 6 last round. However, I will say this: if there's no rollback, I ain't running locals because people ain't gonna show up for that game,
Bruh.
If there's no rollback, that game's cooked.
You're right.
I'm not gonna even bother running locals. But Marvel Tokon, that's definitely going to be on the main event slot. So, I got plans this year, and I want to be able to execute my goals and my vision that I want to do for the South Florida, fighting game community overall. So, I think that's about it. I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here with the guys. Appreciate everyone for watching, tuning in. Sir Penguin in the chat says, bro, I need the Steam machine now, especially after PSN trying dynamic pricing.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have
That's a good reason to get one.
I'm gonna have to check that out later. Interesting. What
Yeah.
the heck?
That's a topic. Learn later.
Yeah. Shout out to Girad for following on YouTube. Appreciate you. For those that are new here to YouTube, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe.
Wait, you know who chatted on Twitch butters? Neutral Steak.
Neutral Steak, my goat.
My dog.
Neutral Steak for the follow. Appreciate you over on Twitch.
I know that
Me,
guy.
bro. That motherfucker
What a
plays
four
every
face.
single game.
And 4 face buttons, homie, too.
4 face, my goat.
Layers.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna get on up out of here. Appreciate y'all for watching and tuning in. We may have an episode for Sunday, but we'll play it by ear. So with that being said, this has been episode 174 of the Self-Aware Gamers podcast. We are signing off.
Peace.
Bye. Six.